ready to rock and roll.
Hello, Generals, and welcome to this Tuesday, May 6th edition of the 5-Star News. I'm Levi Wilson.
And I'm Gabe Parvin, and we have a great show for everyone today. So let's get this thing in motion with our announcement segment that we call What's Up Heritage.
Thanks, Gabe and Levi. Busy week here at the Tosh. Let's get to the announcement. The Special Olympic softball game is happening this week. They will play during school on Friday. All students that would like to go and watch the game will have to pay $3 for a ticket. Finally, track competed down in Macon this past weekend in sectionals. Some school records were broken this past weekend. You can find the full recap later in the newscast. Now, I'm passing it off to Killian for your 4-day weather forecast.
Thanks, Landon. Weather looks much better this weekend. Let's get to the announcements. Today we have a high of 75 and a low of 54. Tomorrow we're getting a little rain with a high of 68 and a low of 56. Thursday the sun is back and we have a high of 76 and a low of 56. Friday we have a high of 76 and a low of 53.
Thanks, Landon and Killian. Great job as always.
To the news now, and Gabe, this week is a spectacular week to be a teacher at Heritage High School.
Yes, it is. This week at Heritage is Teacher Appreciation Week.
Yes, and our students and clubs will be treating our teachers like kings and queens all week.
5-Star News reporters Anna Kantz and Emily Dameron talked to students and teachers about this week and what it means to them.
All right, big week here at Heritage High School for teachers. It's Teacher Appreciation Week, and it's an awesome time for us teachers and the students, I think, really to get to do a lot of things. I know I'm probably going to gain about 15 pounds, and I can't afford to do that right now, but all these groups of students bring in food and snacks and treats and drinks and everything. It's just an awesome week here at Heritage when they honor us, and we really like to honor them all the time too. So we've got some great students here, and we've also got some great teachers. So thanks to all you guys that are bringing things in. We really appreciate it. One of my favorite things is a Thank a Teacher card that they do, and I got a bunch of them this morning. It makes my day to read these. The impact that I've had on their lives, I guess, is pretty cool to me, and they don't know, but they've had a big impact on me too. I love meeting with these guys every day, and this really makes my day. I'll put these up on my wall in my office, and I'll have them in there. I've got some from 5 or 6 years ago in there now, so it's pretty cool.
I wrote a letter to Miss Dillard because she's the best teacher ever. I'm always comfortable when I'm near her, and I feel like I can talk to her about anything.
The teacher that means the most to me is Jeff Green. I love Jeff a lot because he wants us to try our best and do our best every single day, and he just puts a smile on our faces.
Oh, and Miss Cooper. I wrote a letter to Miss Cooper because Miss Cooper is funny. She's super funny. I love her class. So I just wanted to tell her how much she meant to me when, because I've been in her class for 3 years now.
It will have to be Hunter Johnston. I just met him this year, and I've always thought he was a cool guy. He always comes into class with a positive attitude. I like Johnston because he cares about his students, and he actually tries to have conversation.
Thanks to all the clubs that are taking part, and thank you to all the students that sent me cards and your other teachers as well. We really appreciate it.
I know Mr. Green is off the charts this week.
Yep. Speaking of teachers in a great mood, Miss Hamilton, our choir teacher, is always in a good one.
Yes, she is, Gabe, and I bet it's even better this week. Her choir took home highest honors this past weekend in their annual Music in the Parks performance down in Atlanta on Saturday.
One of many great performances for the group this year. And 5-Star News reporters Jake Bias, Brooke, and Trey Wilson talked with Miss Hamilton and some of the choir students to get their reactions on the big day.
Past Saturday, our Heritage High School Concert Choir and Chamber Choir went to the Music in the Parks competition at Chapel Hill High School. The students are evaluated by professionals in the field, and they both choirs received superior ratings. Our chamber choir got the overall high school choir award with a score of 99.25. I was very pleased with that. Our concert choir had the second highest score at 98. So both choirs did very well. We also had a great time in Six Flags, and it started pouring the rain about 30 minutes before we were supposed to leave, so it was pretty fun. So we had a great day.
I thought it was pretty fun. There was a lot of good groups there. And then afterwards we went to Six Flags, and there was an award ceremony. We got 3 trophies. And then afterwards we went on rides, and that's really all we did. But it was a fun Saturday. So
yeah, the competition was great. And afterwards we went to Six Flags and waited for when it was announced. Turns out we got two superiors and outstanding outstanding high school choir trophies. Honestly, my favorite part, the rain. I got dipping dots afterwards.
Great job, guys and gals.
Commercial time now, and hang around after the break for sports and entertainment.
Girls tennis in the Elite Eight and some of our track athletes will have weekend plans at this state meet this weekend as well. Stick and stay.
Sports is next.
Hey, we got a hot sale going on in the office. If you want a short sleeve tee, $5. That's a deep discount right there. You want a long sleeve tee, $10. What a deal. You want a sweatshirt or a hoodie, that's going to be $15. It doesn't get any better than that. Try going to the Marshalls and getting a hoodie for $15. Ain't going to happen. So come see us in the office. Cash, check, money order for your merch.
I like that they're lower than what they used to be, so that's good.
And how do they feel? Are they all right? Do you like them?
Yeah, they're really comfy.
Welcome into sports, everyone. Lando and Killian here again, and we're talking girls state tennis on this Tuesday.
That's right, Lando. Coach Mashburn's girls were in action yesterday, taking on Brainridge right here at the Taj in the GHSA Elite 8.
A win by the girls will put our ladies into the state's Final Four for only the second time in school history.
To get the win, let's get to the match recap.
Girls tennis finished up their season yesterday with a loss to Bainbridge in the Elite Eight round of the state tournament. And for this match, we knew that we would just have to fight until the very end, and that's exactly what every girl went out there and did. Ella and Rachel won the first sets on their courts, but we lost as a team before they could finish up.
And we did lose, but I think everyone played a really good match. They were a really tough opponent, and I'm really proud of how far we went considering how we were looking at the beginning of the season. We really improved.
We lost yesterday in the Elite 8, but I'm very, very proud of the team. We had a great season. We made it very far, and I think nobody expected that, and I'm very proud. We all played very, very well, even though it was a very hard team to play, and I'm very proud.
Just looking back on the season, we finished 13-3 overall. We won the region tournament and made it to the Elite Eight round, which are all just amazing accomplishments. And this team has been really committed the whole way through the season. We're really going to miss Ella, Rachel, Anna, and Faith, who have all been key players in our lineup. And just, I couldn't be more proud of what all these girls have accomplished this season, and it just makes me excited for next year as well.
Congrats on a great season. We've really enjoyed following these ladies all year.
The track now and our boys and girls squads took part in their state sectionals meet this past weekend.
Sure did, and Coach Gibson and Coach Edwards' athletes had impressive showings with several advancing to the state meet this weekend.
Five-star reporters Carter Sparks, Hayden Mullins, Bryce Smith, and Autumn Crean caught up in some of the earlier this week to get a sectionals meet recap.
So at sectionals, I was really proud, especially of our 4x1 team. We ended up not only qualifying for state, even though we were supposed to come 12th, we ended up coming 7th, breaking a school record and running a PR of 51:12, which beat our current PR by 0.77 seconds. In pole vault, I came technically second, but I qualified for state with one jump of 8 feet, so it wasn't too bad of a competition for me.
So this past weekend, the Heritage High School track team traveled to Peach County High School to compete at the sectional track meet. We took 34 athletes down there. Out of those 34, 16 qualified for the state meet this coming weekend in Albany. It was a good day. Everybody worked hard. They did everything we asked of them, and I couldn't be prouder of our athletes.
So I think sectionals was a pretty fun trip. This was the first time I actually made it for an event that I actually run, which was the 3,200. It's 2 miles. I was at the meet for 12 hours before I ran. It was pretty long day.
Yeah, so last Saturday we competed at sectionals, and I did the 1,600 and the 800. I won the 1,600, not a PR though, and then the 800 I did PR and I broke the school record, and I got top 3.
Okay. Last Saturday we went to sectionals and I competed in a few events. I qualified to state in 2 events, the 1,600 and the 800 meter. I set a PR, and then I plan to podium at state and set some records.
But I went out there, ran the best I could, got 5th, qualified for state for the first time, and I'm just really happy with it. I haven't been to state before, So, I mean, I'm just going to make the most of the trip and just have a lot of fun.
There was a lot of triumph. There was some heartbreak involved, but at the end of the day, it was a great day for Heritage High School track.
Congrats, everyone, and good luck at state.
And finally, to our B-ball business guys.
Yep, we're smack dab in the middle of the NBA playoffs, and our guys talked to some of the most esteemed NBA fans to find out what they're thinking of the tournament so far.
That's basketball business, and that's right there. That's.
And I think we all know why you're crying. Wolves in 5.
This can't be real. LeBron, if you're out there, just know that you were supposed to win. 3-1, you're supposed to come back. But you didn't. My glorious King LeBron, you'll come back. You'll be back in the finals. I believe in you. But to get lost in 5, you gotta be better, LeBron.
What do you think about OKC 4-0ing the Memphis Grizzlies?
I just don't think the Grizzlies could keep up with OKC. I think they got dominated on every part of their game, and I just don't think they could keep up.
Sorry, John Morant. And what do you think about Stephon Castle winning Rookie of the Year?
I think he deserved it, know what I'm saying? He almost got that, he almost got that dunk contest. Yeah, I think he deserves it.
Yeah, he's really good.
All right, who am I here with? Simpson. All right, so who would you be drafting to fight a gorilla? How many people can I pick? We'll go 5 people. 5 people. Francis Ngannou, if you know, you know. Yeah. Hard punch power. Draymond Green. You know he can play. He can throw the 1 too. John Jones. Okay. And LeBron. Okay, that's not even crazy to say. And then we'll throw you in there. Okay. I'll be the backup. Okay. So thank you.
Thanks for sports, you guys. Entertainment time now.
Yes, and our seniors were provided with some entertainment last Friday as they ventured up to Dollywood and Pigeon Forge.
One of many senior trips this month. How did everyone enjoy their day at the park?
Here's 5-star news reporters Knowledge Barnes and Killian Smith with more on the trip in this report.
Last Friday, the seniors had a chance to go to Dollywood, and it was really fun. We went from about 11 to 6. I rode about 5 rides. I should have got a fast pass, but I did not. But I would say Wild Eagle was my favorite ride, and I enjoyed the trip.
Me and the senior class went to Dollywood this past Friday. It was pretty fun. We got to ride most of the rides. You know, it was pretty packed, so I mean, some of the stuff had a big weight on it. Didn't get to ride everything, but it was pretty fun overall. We got to see Dolly Parton in person. She went through a parade. It's pretty sick. I got to ride the lightning rod. That's one of my personal favorites there at the park. I hooked up with a bunch of my friends and went to Red's and ate some food there. You know, overall it was pretty good.
So this past Friday I went to Dollywood with the seniors, and it was a really fun experience overall. It was pretty busy. Didn't get to ride too much, but I rode the Fire Chaser Express, was probably my favorite ride there. We got to see Dolly Parton, which was really cool, and yeah, it was just a really fun experience.
Good stuff as always, guys.
Time to play the feud now, Gabe.
Yep, and last week was Administrator Edition.
Who's the contestants this week? Well, we're about to find out.
I'm Taylor Snyder.
And I'm Marilyn Taylor.
And we're Taylor and Taylor.
Caden Hardman.
I'm Grant Stoker.
And we're Grant and the Hardmans.
When I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much.
Chasing my siblings around with a knife.
Yeah. When I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much.
Fighting my siblings.
That's kind of like the same thing as Taylor said.
Screaming.
Yeah. When I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much.
Not sharing.
No.
Wait, what?
When I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much.
Failing a test.
Or class. You got spanked for that? When I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much.
Talking.
Just talking?
Back talking.
There we go. So, Taylor. Anyways. When I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much.
I don't know. That's my answer. When I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much.
Swearing. Cussing.
Yeah. Yes. All right, lock in. I think that was when I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much. Breaking stuff. Yeah. When I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much.
Not eating all my food.
Hey, remember like 2 seconds ago when I told you that wasn't an answer and you continued to say that? Okay, give it
Red X. Red X.
Red X. When I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much. Pitching a fit, like screaming. There we go. When I was little, I got spanked for doing blank too much. Not doing much worse. Can we, like... The team with 150 points, Grant and the Hartmans, and the team with 250 points, Taylor and Taylor.
And with that, we'll wrap up this Tuesday edition of the 5-Star News.
We'll see you again on Friday with a brand new news report.
But until then, enjoy your week, Generals, and as always,
Stay
classy,
classy,
Heritage.
Here we are, I'm ready to rock and roll.